So my off-grid journey is probably different from a lot of people's off-grid journeys because since I started living off-grid and trying to provide the things I need for myself, I mean, when you're talking about food and fuel and clothing and building materials, um, you start really learning about how things are created that you rely on, that I relied on the entire time that I was in civilization. And I still do rely on a lot of those things. But my journey is to try and create everything I need from the land. I used to watch the wild animals when I first came here, and I'm like, why is it that they can have this perfect life for them and get everything they need from right where they are, and humans can't? Why do we need to rely on like factories and people working jobs they're miserable at and things that destroy the planet for us to live? And I don't believe that's the best we can do, and I don't believe that's the way the creator intended it. So, but a lot of people think that, well, if you just relied on the land around you, you would have a very hard life. And so I've been exploring that, like, really, how hard is it if I grind my acorn flour that I get from the trees outside by hand? And what are the ramifications of using a blender versus using a stone grinder? And so I think in terms like this, and now I'm not trying to judge anyone or say there's a right or wrong way. I'm trying to find a way that I believe in, that I can leave things beautiful in the wilderness when I'm gone. And so the thing about the blender, like I've broken a number of blenders in my life, and where do they go? They go into the trash. And so you're talking about plastic and sometimes glass and metal parts that are just, going into the trash. And that's fine if, we have big dumps that you can dump them in. And I don't know, if humans keep doing the same lifestyle for thousands of years, those dumps are going to take over the planet because a lot of that stuff is not biodegrading very fast. And a lot of those materials, well, the plastic especially, is not good for anything in the environment around it. Versus using a stone grinder. I got a Metate. I've been wanting one for so long, and a lady gave me one that I met her randomly at a mountain man buckskinner's rendezvous, told her I wanted one, and she actually brought me one, which is incredible. But when you think about a million people using a stone grinder and then throwing it away, which probably it won't get thrown away, it probably will last a really long time and get passed down through generations. But if it does get thrown away, it's just a rock. But if you think about a million people, and their blenders get thrown away, then it's trash. So yes, it is harder to grind acorn flour with a metate, a stone grinder. And yes, it takes more time. Obviously, it is better for the environment. So how can I do this in a way that I actually, that it benefits me and it's not a problem? Well, first of all, I'm not living in society anymore. I don't live on those time frames of the rush, and I'm finding, how can I make this work for me? And what I'm finding, and now I'm not totally there, because there are days when I do not want to spend that much time grinding flour because I'm really involved in creative projects. But I have found that the meditativeness of it is incredible. Just to sit and do repetitive motions over and over. It's good for your body to use your muscles. It's really good for your mind. And I think this is the next evolution for humans. Humans that aren't trying to just go crazy with technology and have robots doing everything for them. Humans that want to live like harmoniously with the planet, and whether it's off grid or be more self-sufficient. I think that the next evolution of that is really tapping into the powers of your mind and your deepest humanness, really, because being in those meditative states, not only is it really good for your body and calming and getting you out of that busy craziness, But I'm a huge believer in manifesting, that you manifest what you focus on, and that you need to be in those meditative states in order for things to come to you and ideas to come to you. So I'm also a highly creative person, and that's when ideas come to you. Like you might have noticed when you're driving and your mind is just, on the road, then boom, ideas come to you. So I use those times when I'm doing slow meditative work, whether it's making a basket or grinding acorn flour on a metate. I use that to tap into state of minds that bring me more ideas and more inspiration. And so I can write more songs, I can create more things, I can come up with new ways to do things from the land. And because I have time, I can do this. I also like to think about everything that I use. What did it take to produce this thing if I've bought it from society? And where's it going to go when I'm done with it? So that is really influencing how I'm living my life right now. So there's a lot of people who live off grid, and you can just buy all kinds of equipment and just plop it down where you're at, but you're always going to rely on that stuff. And I'm trying to get it to where I can get what I need from the land. And so it is a lot more bare bones, but the thing for me is it's a lot more magical for me. When I'm creating things from the earth, like all the earth ovens I've made and the walls I've built and, the kiln and the rocket stoves I built from clay, it's very magical because I feel connected. Now, if you're a person who lives in your intellect a lot, you're not going to experience the same thing. You may just experience inconvenience because things aren't moving as fast as your thoughts. But for someone like me who lives in my emotions more and lives in my body more, it's magical. So the slowed downness of things is actually soothing and relaxing, and the presence of just being in the moment, it's totally different experience. And so these things that may appear to be less technologically advanced and slower are actually more magical. And everything is magical when you are surrounded by beauty and nature, as opposed to a lot of the concrete and the technology things. They may be efficient, but are they beautiful? Are they magical? So that's the life I'm working towards, one that will leave the land beautiful when I'm gone, and that feels magical and abundant and beautiful and joyful while I'm here. So back to the thing about the metate, where I live, there are grinding stones all over the area from the Native Americans, where they called them gossip rocks, because the women would hang out together and talk while they were pounding their acorn flour. And to me, that's an incredible life. Instead of being alone in a kitchen and just, pushing buttons and, okay, I got to get this done, whatever, when you're cooking, this is like you're hanging out in a beautiful environment outside with friends, talking or singing. And that's something our ancestors all over the world have done everywhere, is they sing while they do their work, making it more fun. And I remember learning about an African tribe where they would play the drums for the people out working the fields, digging with hoes or whatever. And to me, that's absolutely brilliant, because those people are getting a great workout. Their bodies are strong and healthy from doing that work, but it's fun for them because they're playing music, and music, especially drums, give you energy. So this is the exploration that I'm on, and I'm going to be coming up with all kinds of ways that I can enjoy this life that is low impact or more low impact and very magical.